Dan Greenwald, welcome to Create Your Own Life Show, man.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for hanging out with me today.
Psyched. Psyched.
Yeah. So what's your story, brother?
What do you mean?
So, you're doing a lot of things, helping people find their inner power and stuff. But how do you get to there, man?
Getting control of your stories. We all have them.
Yeah.
We all have them. The mind does incredible things, sometimes good, sometimes not so good. The key is owning your stories, knowing how to control them, choosing which ones you want to allow to turn into actions and which ones you need to kind of pull back a little bit and say, hey, how is this serving me?
Sure. So where would you say your personal story begins? Like what led
My
you there?
personal story, man, that's so loaded. What led me here? So I have a company now, 3010 that helps people get what they want, and also companies. And this was born about 10 months ago. This was my process, my methodology to help me stay out of my own way and keep me really tapped into what I really care about, I'm really passionate about. And I believe that life is too short not to live with passion. And so I also know that, I had a bunch of sales jobs over my years, and I believe in KPIs, and I believe in structure and organization, and I love building things. And so I created this process to help me stay super tapped into my 30,000 foot view of what is it that I really want, not just the generic air is good, love, money, family, but what do you really fucking want?
Yeah.
Right? And there's a process for how to do that. The one thing that's usually standing in our way from even uncovering that is our stories. Our mind is there to keep us safe, even when we don't need to be safe.
Right.
Especially when we're living in a world now, as you know, some people call it this attention economy, right? In which the best of the best minds are out there doing things, creating things to get our focus. And each time our focus is they get, ching, someone is out there is making some money. And so I think this has been the case forever. It's part of the human condition, right? Which our mind does things and keeps us safe. And when you throw in ego and the fact that we're also an emotional creature, right? We want to feel good. And so it becomes really hard to stay on task going to go and do that. And so my story, I guess, begins with a number of years ago. I was hit with a hefty dose of life is really short.
Wow.
Right. I had a number of folks pass away. My folks within 3 years. Some of my closest friends, speed dial friends.
Wow.
All within 5 years. And what do you do with that? And so
I think it crushed a lot of people.
I suppose.
Yeah.
But what came out of that was 30-10-0. And now a bunch of other people are also benefiting. It's not just me benefiting from it, because this was my process, my way, and I was doing consulting work, and some of the founders, leaders of companies were like, forget about the consulting, we want this. We'll pay you for this.
Right.
And so my background's in curriculum design. I'm a former educator. I guess once an educator, always an educator.
What were you educating?
I started teaching 4th grade up in Washington Heights, District 6, shout out.
I taught sophomores for a number of years.
Awesome.
I get it.
So it's K-12, and then I was in middle school, and then my background's in curriculum design. I love building things that incorporate the human condition and the reality of who people are and what gets people moving and motivated. And, I grew up with a stutter, so I was always obsessed with figuring out how do people change, what changes people, led me into the education world, the craft of education, and now is now. So when there were leaders and founders who were asking, hey, I want this, I'm like, I'll pay you for this. I'm like, awesome, I'll create a curriculum. And that was with Google Sheets and Google Docs, and there's a whole formula for it. And now we're on the verge of launching 2.0, in which we have a tool. It's, we're leaning on technology. I believe in technology. I love technology when it's helpful. Right?
Yeah.
We all do.
Right.
Ballpoint pen style. Right?
Yeah.
But the question is, there's been a lot of hatred out there now. Right.
So you mentioned that it's your process. How did that come into being then? How did you discover that?
how did that come into being? You know, a lot of awesome teachers out there. You know, you just try to learn and listen. And to say that I was obsessed with shifting and changing, that's what it was. You know, I grew up with a stutter. You know, the most powerful leverage motivator to get people to change is shame, or to keep people not moving forward, right? And so I grew up with that. I grew up avoiding being in the moment. So I grew up with a dichotomy about, craving to be true to myself, which we all have that craving, it's part of human nature, but also trying to avoid shame. So eventually, I kind of owned it and figured out a way how to stay super focused on what I really gave a shit about, which shifts over life, but now is now. And like when I went into the teaching world, I had a mission to go help people uncover their true self and tap it, make it a part of their core real life. And that was in the K-12 structure. Now, thank God, we're beyond the boundaries of K-12. And now a bunch of people, companies are now also using 30-10-0 to keep them focused on what they want, but also, tied into metrics that help ensure that they're actually achieving.
So you mentioned the stutter. I'm interested how did you overcome that? Because I feel like that can be a very difficult thing, especially you mentioned with the shame and a lot of the things you can get because of that. How did you overcome that?
I don't know.
Really?
I guess I do know, but it didn't happen, boom, there. It was more about, I guess at the end of college, I was fully committed to figuring it out. You know, I grew up going to different speech therapists. None of them really got me, right?
Sure.
And I was ready, and things kind of aligned. Good friend of mine knew that was standing in my way, and she actually had a list of 4 different people to go and talk to. I didn't know that. She broke it out in Prague when we randomly met. There was, things work out as they do, but I found people that really got it, in which they dealt with the psychological along with the physiological at the same time. And that's when I was introduced to meditation. That also, I think that's really helped me, and it was really an 18-year process. I think that was when I was 22. I think my stutter is simply a light on my dashboard to help inform me shit's getting hectic now.
Sure.
Take note. We all have that. People get migraines, back spasms. It's turned into a blessing for me.
So bringing it back around then to 30-10-0, what does that process look like for you? And I love that you mentioned that it's like Google Sheets, starting Google Sheets and all stuff, because if you saw everything in my life as a Google Sheet, so
man,
I get it. I have folders on my folders on my folders. So how did what does this process look like for you?
I'll show you I'll explain in a second, but to your point about you loving spreadsheets, my dog's name is actually Hyperlink.
Nice.
Joking. I wish I had it. Just to throw that in.
I have ways. So we have 2 of our businesses run totally off Google Sheets and thousands of sheets that people can coordinate on. So
awesome. I look forward to seeing. So the process is this. It's there's a phase 1 and a phase 2. Phase 1, you create your own 30-10-0, in which you go through. It's an online tool. It's a dashboard. The 2.0 version, designed for people that are 75 and 9 years old and everyone in between, right? It was when my mom was alive, just constantly asking me, how do I print, driving me crazy. And my son James, who's 9, who's totally wants to get his latest coding Lego. You got to achieve. He's like, all right. So that's how it's designed. So the way that it works, phase 1, you map out your 30,000 foot view. Go through by answering a bunch of questions, and you also learn the classic, most important skill of story watch. Right, recognizing your stories before your mind takes control and leads you to actions that you might not want. Then you map out from there. You map out your 10,000 foot view, your priorities. From there, that drives your daily actions, your zero, your game time. And the daily actions, there's a few rules along the way that your daily actions, they have to be easy wins, designed to be easy wins. And so that's kind of the phase one of that. And then phase two is you use it. You use it every day. And, built into that is this concept called state, story, action. The state we're in dictates the stories that are going on in our head, which dictates the type of action. Strong state, strong stories, strong action. Shitty state, shitty stories, shitty action. And state is made up of our mental, spiritual, and physical health. So the first thing that someone does when they build out their 30-10-0 is that they build out their pillar, their priority of strong state. What are the things, for example, you need to do every day for
non-negotiables?
Yeah, but they need to be designed for easy wins. Unless our mind's going to do shit to get us out of our own way. That's what the mind does.
Right.
So once you have this set up, it goes from what do I do in order to get what I want to how badly do you want it? And then along the way, since each action's designed to be quantified, you're able to essentially quantify the productivity of achieving what it is you want. We call it your 30.
Got it. So I guess in terms of, you've helped so many people with this process, what's been the most surprising thing to you in helping people with that?
The most surprising thing is that this is really helping people. It's just my process that
Sure.
This wasn't designed to be a business. That still comes back, and I'm full of gratitude, full of intense gratitude that this could be helpful, and I'm back full circle into my world of education again, which is what I love doing. And so that continues to be really surprising, and I don't take it for granted. The other thing that's been really surprising is how quickly people feel the experience the impact of 30-10-0 within the first week. Because you now have a focus as to a reason why you're going to get up and pound your 20 push-ups or meditate. Right. It's not because you know it's good. It's because you have in front of you what it is you really want. It's kind of hacking the mind. Right. That creates stories to put it what you really care about, right? So that's kind of the most surprising.
So what's your personal 30-10-0?
Excellent question. So what's my 30, right? What's your 30? So my 30 is to live in a consistent, strong state and grow 30-10-0 to impact. It was at one point 150 people. Now it's going up to 1,000 people. My 30 continues to shift as it should, because you have to meet the essence of it, and in doing so, provide abundantly for my family. The next question is, what does life look like when you're actually hitting your 30? Right. The more details, the better. For me, I'm going on adventures with my kids, with my wife, with like real adventures. You buy your time. Right, that's why we really make our money, is to buy our time. Right. We break it down. My goal is that 30-10-0, the brand, the logo, when people see it on someone else's gear, on their car, wherever it is, that they know, hey, there's another person that believes in getting more, doing more, being more. That's what my 30 is.
Yeah. So then, I guess in terms of like you're saying it went from 100 to 1,000. So if we're kind of mapping it out, then like I guess what is the scale of that impact like over time? Like where do you see that going?
So there's a part of me that wants to talk about this. There's a part of me that doesn't want to talk about it.
I want to talk to the part that wants to talk.
So Awesome. So let's talk to that guy. It's important to actually to define your 30. The more defined your target is, the more likely you are to hit it. Mm-hmm. Right? And I didn't even tell you what my 10,000 and zeros are, which we could get to if you want. But sure. My 30, it's the impact, the goal, the way that it's being set up is that it's, as someone goes through 30, 10, 0, the growth has been through word of mouth. Mm-hmm. So one impact creates more impact, multiple impact, multiple impact. So what is the long-term impact goal of 30, 10, 0? It's my hope that this is a tool that allows for people to incorporate the great teaching that are out in this world. We have such great teachers and books. This is a way to incorporate those learnings into your daily life and give it and use it as a guide. So my goal is over the next year. Fuck it, I was gonna say many years, but now is now, and I've already burned the boats in doing this. So, what does it look like when there's massive impact in which people are more informed about what they really give a shit about, and they're following up with actions, and God knows we need this world now. We need this world now that is gonna answer the door.
How's the Lord? Jesus speaking.
You want to ask me that question again?
Yes. I couldn't tell if it was in here or out there.
There's two buttons.
Yeah, there's two buttons.
Got it.
So there's two phones.
Got it. Anyway.
What's the question?
So we were talking about
what's my 30?
Impact, and we were talking about like where you want this to go, and you were talking about that you burn the boats, and
so
that's kind of where we were.
So the impact that I really want this to have is this world is full of a lot more people living a more focused life that I say is more informed about what they really care about. Sure. Versus letting the world around them dictate that. And it sounds stupid for me to say that, but I really believe that. I've seen it happen. That when you know what you really want, right, and it's attached to your insides. Yeah. That you're fueled to get up in the morning. You don't want to go to sleep because you still have more things to do because you want to create. That's what it's about. And so 30-10-0 helps you find that.
Mm-hmm. So let's bring it back around then. So
sure.
You mentioned we've covered your 30, but we really got a little excited and we kind of skipped over your 10 and your 0. Like,
I'll map it out for you.
What does that look like?
Yeah, so my 30 is trying to, again, just to restate, being in a strong state and grow 30-10-0 into an impact-making company. Mm-hmm. And in doing so, provide abundantly for my family and myself. My 10,000, these are different priorities, not more than 5. Mm-hmm. Again, we want to keep it simple. The number one is health and growth, I call it, and which is the game is all about what do I need to do every day to be in a strong state. And so that's focusing on state is defined by your mental, spiritual, and physical health. So I need to work out. And again, you need to make it really, really easy. I need to work out. For me, that is 20 push-ups. Mm-hmm. I've been going to the gym every day for the last 7 days, and I feel awesome because the week before that I didn't. And I saw what it did to me. I have measurements. It tells me. I have to meditate. At least I know that a quality meditation is 15 minutes. I have it for 5. Mm-hmm. Easy wins. Mm-hmm. My sleep. I'm not the best sleeper, so I started measuring my sleep. Did I sleep 7 hours?
Is that what you kind of need to feel good? Is about 7? Or?
I'm probably a 6 hour. Mm-hmm. I'm probably 6 hours. Yeah. I mean, listen, I've gone 5 hour. As long as I'm working out and meditating, and I'm eating the right foods. Mm-hmm. Usually I could go on 5 hours, but I don't like that.
Sure.
What else? I spend focused time with my family, right? Mm-hmm. That was added after about a year and a half ago. I saw that I wasn't present enough. And that could just be, boys, I love you. Have a great day. My wife, I love you. Give her a kiss. It's designed to be easy wins. I also started doing focus time for me. 10 minutes, whatever I want to do for me. And so that's my health and growth. It tweaks every time I get to learn from these amazing teachers that this world has, or books that I'm reading. I can incorporate that into my 30-10-0. The next is organization and processes. I'm not the most organized. I am now. The way that it works is, did I review my week on Sunday night? That's number one. Did I review what is in front of me for my day? That's number two. It's yes or no's. Did I end my day in reviewing what's lined up for tomorrow? Did I touch my family finance? And did I touch my CRM today? So it's not about personal or professional. It's about life is short. What do you want? How is the work you're doing helping you get there? Right? So those are 2 out of my 5 priorities. The next is people, right? 1 event per week to meet people, networking. So I got to go to 1 event. This today, we're here.
Yeah.
That's a check in the box. The other is meeting 3 new people per week, touching 7 previous contacts per week. It's pretty cool. That has showed its results over the course of many weeks, many months, if not years now. The next area is content. Consuming for 10 minutes. Putting things into the reading bank, right, for the team.
You have a limit on that, by the way, because I feel like there's so many people that
you have to
flow content all
you have
the
to
time, and it's just because that they're not doing anything. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what it's about. But that's also what our mind does.
Yeah.
Right. So it's all about metrics, right? It's like KPIs, but now applying it to your life. And then did I post 3 times in 1 week? That's around content. Then I have clients. Did I review what's outstanding? Did I touch my content? My clients, probably touch isn't the best term, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know if they'd like that.
No, but I figured out. Listen, it's constantly being tweaked. But at the end of the day, when people go through 30-10-0, the first thing they leave with is they have their health and growth mapped out. They have what they need to do to be in strong state. If you're not in strong state,
Can we hold for a second? Whatever that motor said.
what should we close that window?
That window?
Yeah.
It doesn't close.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Good. Sorry.
So when folks go through 30-10-0, no matter who you are, it's a person. You need to be in strong state. If not, it's a total uphill battle, no matter what you're trying to do. So when you go through 30-10-0 and you're learning and you're experiencing how to identify your 30, your 10, your 0, it's all around what do you need to do to be in strong state. People leave. That's why there's an immediate impact after a week. Try doing it for a week. Try doing your push, like whatever it is that you do. Some people are like, they need to dance. Everybody's different. So this is a way to kind of tap the reality of who you are, use it to help you get what you want.
So I guess bringing this back around, then we've kind of alluded to stories and things like that as we went through this.
Yeah.
Why do people tell themselves the stories they tell themselves?
Because we have a mind that's trying to keep us safe. Back in the day, it was saber-toothed tigers and what other, like woolly mammoths, or what other fun 6-year-old, animals you want to come up with. But now we don't have that. But the mind still does what the mind does.
Yeah.
And so that's why we tell ourselves stories.
It's kind of a way to like let ourselves down easily or something, I guess.
Or just trying to protect us and feel good. Listen, we are creatures. Right? We are emotional creatures that have a mind, but we also have our feelings, our what we feel. I mean, like, look at how we're brought up, right? When we're born, a child's born, if they don't get that love and connectedness immediately from a real person, they die. Mm-hmm. Right? Growing up, as we grow, 1-year-old, 2-year-old, we're still that baby bird almost, but then we could walk and we start, but we have this inherent craving of a love and connectedness of our mother or father, one or the other, and as we go and grow, that's our main driver, mm-hmm. right? And so, over time, the experiences that we go through, the life that we live in, kind of dictates what and how we do it, and what our mind's trying to do to help fulfill what it is that we really want. And we form these guiding stories back in the day that, unless we are aware enough, we can't shift them. They're probably still guiding us today. Mm-hmm. And so part of what 30-10-0 does, it helps bring an awareness and a skill set called Story Watch to a person to help recognize their previous monster guiding stories, usually one or two, but also as we go through life now and recognizing, hey, how is this story of I can't build a company helping serve you trying to build a company?
Right.
Make the choice. It either is, and you could keep it. And listen, there's a reason why our mind creates those stories, and so that's part of the story.
Well, I guess bringing this back around, then, if we were to take a look at something you believed at 21 that you don't believe now, what would you say that is?
Good question. 21. That's college. End of college. A lot of good times in college. Back then, I believed that the Jets could win the Super Bowl. I'm hopeful, but I'm questioning that there's some sort of larger situation going on.
Oh, well, the Giants did just draft Daniel Jones, so how good can it really be?
Are you a Giant fan?
I'm a Packers fan. Things aren't much better for us right now.
Dude, you know what it feels like to win a Super Bowl. I still think Super Bowl III was a hoax. Okay.
I don't like to tell people I'm a Knicks fan though, because I actually don't know what winning is.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you could relate to rooting for losers. Hopefully we got a good year this year. Listen, I got to be honest. I always believe that people have the power to change. Mm-hmm. People have the power to change when they uncover what they really want. I always believe that. I believe that from a very young age, and I believe that's the case, but what do I don't know. 21. I don't want to say what just came to my mind, but you never know. You never know who's listening. At 21, I thought that money was the ultimate driver. Mm. At 42, money is critically important, but it has its role, and it's not front and center. Mm-hmm. Sure. Life is too short. And you know what? In my trajectory, I was teaching for a number of years. I said then I went into I need to make money. So I went into the real estate world because I had some background in it. I knew it. I saw it, and I was okay. Never going to be great because it was. I'm someone who needed. I believe that there's more. There's passion, and we have our passion because that's the type of creatures we are. And when life is too short, not to figure out how to tap it and ground that into your life. And that's also where the most successful people are.
Very cool. If we were far in the future, we could take a look at that legacy you're leaving behind and sum up that legacy with a quote in your tombstone. What does that look like?
You want a legacy or you want a quote? Which one?
A quote that describes that legacy.
seeking authenticity, not approval.
I love that. Well, Dan, this has been awesome today. For those people out there listening, if they want to connect with you, if they want to learn more, where's the best place to go?
Yeah, so you could go to the website. It's 30100 spelled out .com. You could, social also 30100, Instagram at 30100. If you want to email me, it's Dan at 30100. Feel free to reach out with any questions. We are about to get into beta testing, so we're looking for testers. You know, right now the way that it's lined up, we have the capacity for 25 a month. And just to also point out, the way that the tool is built out is that it's heavy tech, minimal people. We're kind of microdosing guides with 10-minute increments. So that's kind of a nuance as to a little bit different to empower people to kind of do their own thing, and they don't have to sign up for a life coach or a therapist. And really, I've seen it work with a number of people. I still continue to use this process for me, and I'm really excited to share it with others.
Awesome. Well, Dan, thank you so much for hanging out today.
All right, thank you.
Cool. Yeah.
All right.
Or motorcycles or cars or
Yeah.
anything like that. That was great, man. Thank you.
Yeah, that was good. It was kind of going all over the place a little bit.